Today, on a special episode of Geek we're going to take a tour around Sterling, Illinois, the hometown of fantasy novelist Terry Brooks, and see some of the locations that he used in his Word and Void and Shannara series. For those who don't know, fantasy author Terry Brooks was born in Sterling, a small farm town in northwest Illinois. Many of the settings in his books are actual places around town, since his fictional Hopewell, Illinois, is very much based on Sterling. Sinnissippi Park, from his Word and Void series, is a real place, and the park itself is very much as he describes it in the books, so our tour starts there. To get to Sinnissippi Park, you must first come to Lincoln Way Highway. Many places in Illinois are named for Abraham Lincoln, as he traveled extensively for the Lincoln-Douglas debates. The home he stayed at while visiting Sterling, and the place where he gave his speech are still preserved to this day. Across the road, you can see Riverside Cemetery, where Nest Freemark's mother was buried. The cemetery adjoins Sinnissippi Park in real life, just as it does in the books. Directly across from the cemetery are the Sinnissippi Townhomes, where Jared and Benet Scott lived. They are also very much as described in the books, as you can see. And over on the right side, as we pass Riverside Cemetery, we can see the park, as I continue driving to the entrance road. At the T-junction here, if I went left, I would reach Woodlawn Road, which is the street where Nest Freemark's home would have been located. Instead, I'm turning right into the park. From inside the park, you can see there are homes on Woodlawn Road that back directly up onto the park's northern border. The house right there has hedges, just like those described in the book, so it may well be the Freemark home. One thing not mentioned in the books is that Sinnissippi Park is home to a championship-level disc golf course, and many people are out playing it during the summer months. Disc golf, or frisbee golf, has essentially the same scoring system as golf, but instead of hitting a ball, your objective is to throw your frisbee into the basket. Next, we have the picnic table and hibachi, where Nest and Pick first met two bears. There are a number of such grills scattered throughout the park for people to use. And just beyond that are the Native American burial grounds, where Nest watched as two bears danced with the spirits of his ancestors. The park also has many larger barbecue pits for the use of those on a picnic. Somewhere out there in the trees, Pick is at home with his owl. There are many wild places in the park where no paths go. But there are also many trails, both unpaved and paved, that you can follow on a circuit of the park. Although some are much steeper and more treacherous than others. There are also a number of beautiful wildflowers and prairie plants that grow throughout the park. You can start to see why a fairy creature like Pick would want to make his home here. Back this way, there's a barely noticeable path that leads to where the Montrog tree is. It's a real place, but difficult to reach in the summer months. There are thorny sticker bushes blocking the path, and a lot of mosquitoes as well. And possibly rattlesnakes in the deep brush. If it were winter, I would head back there, but in early August, it really isn't a good time to do so. The Rock River forms the southern border of the park. There is a levee with train tracks on it that lead to where the steel mill was once located until it shut down. There is still quite a bit of train traffic on those tracks, however. And across the Rock River lies the city of Rock Falls. It is a shadowy and dark place that we dare not go, unless we're really hungry for Thai food and don't want to bother making the trip to Dixon. The park has a bayou as described in the books, where the river flows into a stream that cuts through the park. That's where Nest met Ariel, the tatterdemalion. There are many tall reeds this time of year, and between the levee and the park there are many water lilies, with gorgeous yellow flowers in bloom right now. There are also benches along the river to look out over it. And one can also gain access to the park by boat. There are several mooring locations available. and close to the river we see the cliffs where the feeders nearly carried Benet Scott to her death. In the summer, as you can see, there's way too much foliage for a little kid to slog through to get to the edge. Brooks obviously took some poetic license here. Also, I have no idea where there would be caves in the limestone face. There are certainly cracks where the trees are breaking into the rock, but I'm not aware of there being caves anywhere. There's an area with a baseball diamond where Nest was forced to fight Danny Abbott. And then we head back to the west side of the park where it adjoins the cemetery. You can see there is a spiky section of fence facing the Sinnissippi townhomes, where a drunk moron might be able to disembowel himself if he tried to hop the fence while feeders were chasing him. Next up, in downtown Sterling, we have the spot where Josie's Diner is located. In real life, it's a former Maid-Rite restaurant, renamed Sloppy Jeans. My friend Sarah is the owner, and renamed the restaurant after her late father. A couple doors down from that, my co-host for the Geek Drinks episodes has a coffee shop that he runs with his father called Airplay Sports. In addition to coffee, they also sell disc golf supplies, and have their own brand of disc golf gear. And here's Rich's father, Tim, making me a mango smoothie, which hit the spot after carrying cameras through the park all morning. And finally, we have the Candlelight Inn, which made an appearance in the Elfstones of Shannara. I worked here while I was in high school, and have many unfond memories of lifting 250-pound cans of old chicken batter to pour into a 6-foot-tall dumpster. The restaurant specializes in Chicken George, which is chicken strips served with a special sauce, known as Jan sauce. It's a local specialty. There's also a new location open along the Mississippi River in Clinton, Iowa, with a beautiful view of that river. Thank you for joining me for this special episode of Geek In. Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons if you would, and if you could make a small donation on our Patreon page, it's much appreciated. If there are any spots that you think I missed in the book or that you would like to see, go ahead and leave me a comment below. Maybe I'll do a follow-up episode. Thank you for joining me.